All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to PUCcast. I hope that your spring break was fantastic. And now that we're back, it's time for another show. We are in the sanctuary, as we usually are at the beginning of each quarter because of Week of Prayer, so all our equipment's down here. Next week, next show, we'll be back in the studio. But this week, we also have a topic that is discussed a lot throughout students and part of student politics here. That we have. It's on alcohol and its role here at PUC and some of the things that have happened to students, things that do happen to students who are involved with it. So with me to help discuss, we have Dean Kurtz. Welcome back to the show. We also have Anna Warkentine.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm trying to get, I'm one for the last names. She is an RA, head RA over at Winning, right?
Right.
Winning. Okay. And then we also have Alan, and I'm going to try to get this right. Metanelia? Almost got it.
Metanelia.
There we go.
Yes.
Okay. He's a desk worker and an RA over at Newton.
Newton.
And then we also have Dean Wood here, who also is the Director of Residence Life here at PUC. And so welcome all to the show. And so we have a few emails with different subjects that they bring up, so let's hop right to it. The first email that we get goes like this. I happen to know very well what happened this summer, where 4 people got kicked out and some got suspended or restricted. Well, some people got caught with insane amounts of alcohol, sometimes 50 bottles to be exact. Some people had nothing to do with some people that had nothing to do with them got caught as collateral when the Judicial Committee gave the punishments showing that there is alcohol at PUC, and also showing that the school gets hysterical when they hear about something like this. And then the people that had nothing to do with them get punished. Now, with this email, the main thing that I saw here was basically an accusation that people, when stuff like alcohol and stuff gets up, are basically guilty by association, and that they get maybe punished for this. And like obviously, I know that there's confidential issues here that you probably can't go into. But on that subject, like, what do you guys have to say about that? Is that how it goes? Like when people are caught with like contraband such as like alcohol and stuff, and maybe you can't particularly go on that, the people who are associated with it, or maybe, is there anything like that happens, that goes on?
Sure.
Okay.
With people are, for instance, if they have alcohol in their room and it's discovered that they have alcohol and that they have agreed that they are using alcohol, then there's a little process at PUC. They go before the Judicial Committee and there's a discussion about how much alcohol is involved, what their experience is and their history with using alcohol. The school has a pretty clear policy that we are a alcohol-free campus. Mm-hmm. And students, when they choose to come here to PUC, agree that they will live within the policy of the school.
Right.
So when they don't live up to that agreement and they use alcohol, then they place themselves in the potential problem of having to come before a Judicial Committee and discuss the reasons why they're choosing to break a policy. And then decisions are made regarding their status as a student at PUC. The majority of them continue on, but they follow a very, hopefully, supportive program of counseling. And they take an online course called Alcohol EDU, where they learn about how alcohol can affect their well-being as a person that's growing and learning at PUC. Mm-hmm. And they then go through a period of having a lot of support from the student services staff.
Okay.
To hopefully help them continue to be successful and move on past this point in their lives.
Okay. I'm just looking over this.
I'd like to speak to that.
Okay, no, go for it.
One challenge that I think this first email brings up is that in any of these situations where there is any kind of discipline or not discipline that involve alcohol or lots of other things, there's a handicap as far as the information, because we're not really allowed to share what happens. But a lot of times people who are the subject of discipline are able to share whatever version that they want. Okay. And in reference to the first email, it doesn't resemble any situation that I was dealing with this summer or any other time. I guess it is true that PUC responds when there is alcohol. It is not something that's just like somebody has violated a religious tenet or something. It isn't as we would respond if somebody is breaking the Sabbath or failing to pay their tithe. It's something that there's a genuine concern for the well-being of our students.
Okay. And on that, just kind of touching on what I think is the heart of this email, is let me give you guys a scenario. A student comes in, for some reason is caught, intoxicated or with, consuming or in the possession of alcohol.
Right.
And they're caught and they're guilty, but first, do you guys ask them if they were associated with anybody else, or ask, for names or people like that, that, you try to figure out who else was involved? Is there anything like that that goes on?
There's, from the standpoint of if somebody comes in drunk, then I think one of our concerns is who was driving the car,
Right.
and is this a safe situation? But really, the first conversation we have with them is not about who else is with you.
Right.
We want to know that they're safe. And really, typically, the best time to have a conversation with a person is not while they're inebriated. And
Right.
so frequently the conversation that happens the next day
Okay.
in the dean's office, and you sit down, we talk about it. We ask them where they've been drinking. We ask them what the driving situation was. We talk to them a little bit about why they're choosing to drink,
Okay.
and try to help identify what the issue is. Maybe it's just a social drinking thing, maybe it's the first time. Although we have found as we talk with students that their drinking experience does not begin at PUC. Very rare. Almost every student that we talk to has a history of drinking before coming to PUC.
Okay. Right. Okay. And so like during that conversation, or any other time, does that lead to maybe looking in to see if other PUC students were involved with that?
Well, if it becomes apparent that other PUC
Right.
students are involved, but
Do you? Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's not just a matter of trying to find out whether somebody needs to be disciplined with their peers. It's been quite a while since I've had a situation where I've talked to anybody that is associated with our dorms that's inebriated. But if I did, if somebody came in this Saturday night and it looked like they were binge drinking very seriously, there's a couple of reasons why I might want to know who they were drinking with for people's immediate safety.
Right.
First of all, somebody else might have had more to drink, and they might have mistakenly put them to bed in their dorm room, not realizing that there was too much and they should be checked so that they don't stop breathing.
Okay.
We also sometimes, when somebody's quite inebriated, we're not sure we're getting accurate information from them about their own drinking. And if they were drinking with somebody else, that person might be able to tell us something we need if that person needs treatment. Because while it hasn't happened this year, last year we had to have ambulances.
All right. Oh, did you have something?
Actually, I'm about to say something regarding about the intoxicated person. The first person that will probably see this when they stumble in would be the desk worker or an RA. Most likely it would be a desk worker. And we train our desk workers to let them know, get the RA first, to see how the situation is. And if it gets worse or needs further assistance, we call public safety, then we call the dean, seeing how bad the situation is. Once we get this all situated and settled, then we start asking questions. What was going on? What was he doing? Was there really a party? Did we knew about this party if there was a party he came from?
Okay.
And we try to, as an RA and a desk worker, we trying to get all these information from other guys, trying to figure out what was going on outside the school so hopefully we can prevent such a situation so we don't get something like that happening beforehand.
All right. Okay. Next email. I believe that punishment should not be suspension because students who drink and are caught will just drink more during their days off. They should have a fine instead. Each time caught, it goes up significantly. Third strike should still equal the student being expelled, though. Money is really the only thing that speaks to college students. No money equals no booze. Now with that it also brings up alternative punishments to that. So currently it talks about 3 strikes, and you guys do sit down, and it probably varies by situation, like what the punishment is dealt about that. But have you guys, considered that the like different alternatives to like such as fines or anything, and if so, like what were those, or if you have any, why not go something like a fine?